Hey everybody, Poker Dad here. It's been a while. So first of all, hope everybody's doing great. It's been a while since I've done a study video. So tonight, because I'm not playing tonight, I am going to be doing some hand reviews, and I'd like you to take a ride along with me here, and we'll do some hand reviews together. So a couple different things I'm going to be looking at is, of course, my hand versus the villain's range, and I'm also going to be looking at my range as well. So I'm going to be using two different instances of Flopzilla to be able to do this, and using hands that we saw as showdown. So I have Poker Tracker ready to go with the showdown hands here, and I'm going to be choosing random hands to run with here. So let's see. First, I'm going to roll in Flopzilla, and let's just click random, and then we can find a random hand we went to showdown with. That will make sense, of course. Obviously, Queen 4 offsuit is not something, but here we go. Queen Jack offsuit. So let's do that. So let's go to the filters, and we are going to put in my hand detail. I think this is where I go. Or hand values. Hand values. And there's two things I'm going to do here. So hold 'em hand range. Queen Jack offsuit. So we want Queen Jack offsuit. Also, we want pre-flop to voluntarily put money in the pot. And I'm actually going to keep in multi-way pots here. So when there's multi-way pots, we won't be looking at Flopzilla because we'll be looking at the multi-way pot strategy. And so, yeah, let's take a look at some Queen Jack offsuit hands that saw a showdown. So this will be the Queen Jack offsuit video. That's what we can name it. The Queen Jack offsuit study session video. And I think that should work out well. Looks like I am doing okay with Queen Jack offsuit through 58 hands of seeing showdown. Since I've been using Poker Tracker 4, which spans a pretty long time with a gap where I didn't use it. And we're going to go to my reports so we don't have any spoilers. Let's just set this up real quick. Alright, we'll take this one here. And I'm just going to shut off show known hold card so we don't see the villain's hand. We don't want to see the villain's hand. Alright, and let's take a look and see what we can find. Some hands to look at. I'll go from bottom top, makes things interesting. Raise, raise, bet, call, check. I'd like to see something at least that has... Here we go. Alright, so this is the first one. Good one to look at. Call, 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 bet, bet. Let's look at this hand first. So let's see here. Okay, we do have HUD stats on this one here, which will help us create a range. We're into button, of course, with Jack of Hearts and 10 of Clubs. And this was played at NL 10. So we get an open raise here from this guy. We only have 20 hands on him so far, and he's a 55-40. So we know he's most likely a recreational player here. And actually, I'm going to switch this over to show chips and BB. I prefer that when doing hand reviews. And I call it here in the big blind, in the button. So first thing I want to take a look at here is I'm going to look at some opening ranges for calling this here. So I'm just going to open up this other program, which I will show you on screen. It's a really cool program. It's booting up. It's called Simple Preflop Viewer, which I purchased. And if you want info on how to get this, just shoot me a message. It's an independent program. It's not patented or anything like that. But it's a really cool program. So if I go here and I say I am in the button and I'm facing a 2-bet and he was in the middle position, Queen Jack offsuit is actually a bad call. So we could state right off the bat that this is not a good call by me. But the one thing is, though, it is only two big blinds, so it could be worse. But still, this calling Jack Queen Jack offsuit from the button, not a great call. Now we get a min raise here from the small blind, which is really strange. This guy is a recreational player, 45 VPIP, 20 PFR, with a 17 3-bet so far, which is, of course, not a big sample size. We only have 41 hands on this guy. I wish you were able to see this HUD stats, but unfortunately they just don't show up in the video. And this guy calls as well, and I assume we call as well. So I definitely don't like our pre-flop play here. Should have folded to begin with. The 3-bet, this is probably not a great spot for us here. But I digress, we will move on. So here is an interesting flop, a monotone flop here. Let's see what happens here. So this guy bets about half pot, and we get a fold here. So this is an interesting spot here. Now I think we can throw this into Flopzilla. I think I'm actually kind of okay calling this here because we have the Queen of Clubs. Not a great spot, of course, but maybe worth at least one call. So if we put in, now we can just do some work here and put in the, let's see, we have the Jack of Hearts, Queen of Clubs. And our opponent's 3-bet range was 17%. So it was a little big. And we can give him that kind of a range. That's fine. So all the Broadways and all of the all the pocket pairs here, I think is fine. If we want to take away some of these to give him more suited aces, I'm okay with that. Something like that I think is fine. It's about 15%. We could actually give him ace 10 offsuit also. Yeah. All right. So this is good. And the board was 2-3 ace. Of clubs. So here our equity is 41%. But now let's see what this guy might be betting with here. To try and narrow down his range a little bit. He 3-bet us in the multi-way pot and then led the betting in the multi-way pot from the small blind. Well, of course, he could have a flush. He doesn't have a lot of flushes here because of the fact that the ace of clubs is out there, which knocks out his suited ace flushes. But he does have 3 combos of flushes, not too much. He has no straights here. And he has some sets with aces, 3s, and 2s that he could definitely be betting. And 2 pair, and we think, maybe he'll bet. He's a recreational player. He might just bet all of his aces. We'll just give him all his aces. And other than that, pocket pair, below top pair, all this stuff. The only thing I could possibly see him betting here is maybe king, king, and queen, queen. And maybe jack, jack. That's about it. Even that's kind of a stretch. And all this other stuff, nut flush draw with the kings, I don't see him betting those. These are all offsuit hands, so I don't see him betting any of these here. I could be wrong, but we'll see. And the gut shots, I don't expect him to bet the gut shots here too, leading out in the multi-way pot. So our equity here is 33%. He bets half pot, so we do definitely have enough equity to call this here. And I think because this guy folded out, we can definitely call this here. If this guy stayed in, then we could find a reason to fold. But with him folding out, we could definitely play a heads-up pot here, go to the turn, and see if we land a club and possibly have, the best flush if he doesn't have a king of clubs. So we call it. And that was 7 hits. And now I think if he bets here, unless he bets a tiny amount, we could find a reason to fold here. He's short stacked to begin with now. I feel like we could definitely find a fold here. So let's throw in the 7 of hearts first. Our equity here, of course, drops to 18%. So it's going to take like a really tiny bet for us to stay in here. He checks, so that's easy for us now. We can just check back. We bet half pot. I don't really understand what the point of this is now. Um, I mean, yeah, I don't see what I don't see. I mean, versus a play like this as a short stack, I don't really like the play. I'd rather just check back here, get a free card. Maybe we can improve our hand. If he calls, he's always going to be calling us with better. And I don't think we have too much fold equity versus a recreational player like this. So I think we could just probably just check back here. I really don't like the bet here. And he calls, of course. So let's see what he could be calling with here. So of course he could still be calling with a flush. I mean, not much changed here with the 7. Two pair and top pair, all this other stuff. Maybe he's calling with ace king off and king king off is possible. Um, not king king off, but king king. Maybe. I mean, he's calling with all the top pair anyway. Maybe now he'll call the gut shot too. I mean, so we didn't really eliminate much of anything from his range. He's still following with 92% of his range here from the flop. So I don't know. I don't like that bet at all. So far, this hand seems like a complete disaster because we never should have been in this hand pre-flop, and I don't really like this bet at all because, you know, I mean, we could be repping a flush here. I guess. I guess we could be repping a flush here. So yeah. Oh, one thing I want to remember too. I want to obviously it's too late for this hand, but mark to block off people's names. All right. We do hit the flush. That is nice. So now our only concern is if he has a king of clubs. So this is good. Well, it kind of worked out, I guess. But I mean, we could have checked back and still had the same result. So now our equity jumps up to 90%. Pretty good shape here. He checks, and of course we're definitely going to bet here and just hope he doesn't have a king. And we do just shove him all in, and he calls it. And unfortunately, he does have the king, king queen offsuit, which actually I did not have in his range. I didn't have in his flop range, but yeah. So I mean, overall, I just don't like the hand because I don't like the fact that we called pre-flop, and I don't like the bet on the turn. We should have just taken the free card with the check on the turn here. Because yeah, we did get lucky getting a club here, and it is unfortunate that he did have the queen, but still, I don't think this was a very good hand played at all. So if you disagree, let me know, but I'd find it hard to disagree here. Okay, let's take a look at another hand. Here we got call, bet, bet, bet. Interesting one. Very interesting one. Call, bet, bet, bet is an interesting line. So these hands were all played a very long time ago, so I really didn't really know what I was doing as well. I wasn't really that great at this point. I'm much better now. Here we get an open raise from the button, and we flat it. So look at this play. We're flatting it, which is really bad. Again, this hand is these hands were like so long ago. I mean, this hand was played September 22nd. I mean, I only started playing poker like in August. So that just shows you. Really bad play. But we do go heads up at least. That's the good news. The bad news is the fact that we just flatted from the small blind. Really bad. I can't even imagine why I would have done something like that. What a fish I was. What a fish. God, looking at these hands. Can't believe I'm going to be posting this on YouTube. Everybody, when you're watching us on YouTube, please understand that these hands were played such a long time ago. Obviously, I did not know what I was doing, that I flatted Queen Jack offsuit in the small blind. This should just be a fold. So let's see what kind of nightmare situation we end up with. This guy in the button, he's a recreational player. He's opening 37% of his hands. So we're going to give him a huge range, of course. Gigantic range here. Let's give him all the kings, all the queens. Just to give him even more because he's in the button. We'll take away these gapper cards here. Give him all these aces. We'll give him all those hands too. Give him some more jacks. I mean, he should have all these hands in his range anyway, playing from the button. So we'll give him all that. More than even his range would say. We didn't have many hands on him at the time. We only had 27 hands. All right. We land top pair, so that's a good thing. Oh boy. So, ooh, we were such a fish. Look at what a fish we were. We donked out to him. Oh my god, this hand's embarrassing. I can't believe I'm posting this hand on YouTube. So we donked out to him now. Oh my god, how embarrassing is this? No wonder I freaking lost on America's Card Room. Maybe I should play there again, because if I was playing like this and I was losing in America's Card Room, oh my god, I literally just donked out to him a 29% bet. Terrible play. He calls it, of course. So what is he possibly calling with here? Let's see. We got 6 of hearts. I can't remember even analyzing this piece of crap hand. Oh my god, I feel so embarrassed even like posting this. Queen of diamonds and 4 spades. So let's see. What is this guy calling with here? We donked to him, so it's going to make his range a lot stronger because he's going to fold a lot of his garbage. So sets, 2 pairs, over pairs, top pairs, he would call. It's lagging. Pocket pair, below top pair. He's a recreational player. He'll call those middle pairs. Maybe he'll call with those weak pairs. He's going to call with his open-enders. The gut shots, he doesn't have a lot of them. Again, he'll call. He's a recreational player, but I mean, so was I at the time. Really didn't know what the hell I was doing. We'll give him his overcards. We'll give him those backdoor flush draws too. Somehow. Alright, so this is his range. I can't believe I'm posting this hand. This is so embarrassing. Alright, so we do have 72% equity. And a 7 of spades comes out here. So what is 7 of spades going to do? Well, not too much. It improves his flush draws here. I mean, it doesn't really do much for in terms of straights because you would need to have like 5-3, which is unlikely. I mean, you could have suited 5-3, of course. Maybe he... it doesn't do much. But, I mean, look, we're gonna bet again. I mean, now we have the initiative. So... here we have the initiative, so, you know. This is a little bit better. He calls it, of course. So what does he got going on here, this guy? 7 of spades. Straight. So we could have straights with 5-3 and 8-5 too, also. You'd think he would raise him, but maybe he's not. Maybe he's like, this guy's such a dunk. He's got more sets now with the 7s. 2 pairs here. He has some 2 pairs. Over pairs, top pairs. Maybe he'll call with his flush draw. How big was my bet? My bet was what? It was another 2/3 pot bet. Oh god. Open-ended straight draws, and we'll say maybe he'll call it his gut shots too. I know I'm giving him a lot of credit. No fold equity. We'll keep all this stuff in his range. What else? I'm lagging so much here. This is kind of annoying. Pocket pair below top pair. Yeah, sure. Why not? Middle pair. Sure, why not? This hand's a complete mess anyway. Alright, so 75% of his range he's continuing with. Alright. Ugh, this hand. And now a 9 hits. So now he has more possible straights. And what do we have? We just have a pair of queens is all we have. So he's got a lot of good stuff happening for him here. So he's got a lot of good stuff happening for him here. We just have top pair, so why not bet out again? Well, I'm okay with betting out. So I wasn't okay with the donk bet, but I'm okay with betting out here. Maybe bet a little bit smaller though here. I don't like the bet sizing. I want a little bit of a smaller bet here. Half pot and maybe under bet this one here at this point. Yeah. I mean, because now what's happening here with the 9 of hearts. So now he's got the 10-8 suited, which makes a straight. He's got yet another potential set. Um, he's got some more potential two pairs. I mean, he's got a lot of good stuff. Of course, he has the old pair. I mean, you think he would raise a lot of this stuff, of course. But in the top pair, we give him all this. So our equity is 19% now. I mean, he's got so much stuff that's better than us at this point. We're really going to find it hard to win this hand here. And we bet that huge bet. He doesn't raise it, so that's kind of good news. Wow, there's 100 big blinds this one here. Wow, I would love to know what the hell he had. I hate how we played this hand. Unfortunately, we don't know what he had. I hate how we played this hand. It was terrible. We got very fortunate, but we were definitely a fish here. Terrible, terrible. So anyway, this was a quick video of how not to play poker. Of taking a look at these two hands for Queen Jack offsuit from my noob fish days. Looking back to when I should call this video "Looking Back to When I Was a Fish." Um, so anyway, if you like what you saw in this video, do me a favor, please subscribe, and please do not play like how I played in these two hands. Until next time, Poker Dad.